What's up, everybody? It's the movie guru, but today I'm in a different bag. I'm in my gaming bag. So today I'm the gaming guru. So what's going on is one of my favorite games is getting ready to return this year, February 26th, and they just released a trailer for some behind the scenes content. And they're going to talk about the game. If you're wondering what game this is, it is Resident Evil Requiem. So without further ado, we'll get to it.
Welcome, and thank you for joining. I'm your host, Maggie Robertson. Today, we're giving you a briefing on all things Resident Evil, including a look back on its terrifying legacy, so you can be prepared to take on the series' latest installment, Resident Evil Requiem, releasing February 27th, 2026. I'm also thrilled to announce that pre-orders for Resident Evil Requiem begin today. Are you ready for the horrors ahead? To prepare you for Resident Evil Requiem, we've created a special recap. A look back at how we got here, the legendary characters, the unforgettable terrors, and the chilling details that may be important to remember as you continue to venture into the nightmare that awaits. So let's begin with the events leading up to the 1998 Raccoon City incident. Many years prior, a group of researchers discovered the progenitor virus in Africa. Among these researchers was Oswell E. Spencer, a man of immense wealth and influence. Together, they founded the Umbrella Corporation, which on the surface seemed like an ordinary pharmaceutical company. But Umbrella's true purpose, driven by Spencer's ambition to reshape humanity, was to advance virus research and bioweapons development. Many years later, one of Spencer's collaborators, James Marcus, would successfully develop the T-virus. However, in 1998, the virus leaked from a research facility in Raccoon City, located in the American Midwest. The virus spread throughout the city, triggering an unprecedented pandemic and mutating its residents into flesh-eating zombies. Only the bravest souls were fearless enough to fight the infected and the monstrous bioweapons born from the T-virus. Rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy, college student Claire Redfield, STARS agent Jill Valentine, and a handful of others were able to prevail and eventually flee the city. Fearing further spread, the US government launched a sterilization operation, destroying Raccoon City. The Umbrella Corporation eventually went bankrupt due to the mounting evidence brought to light. However, its legacy lives on.
So I feel like I want to stop it there for a second, and because there's a lot to talk about, of course, right? I mean, they're trying to summarize this up and bring everybody up to speed so they can just play the game. Now, I think this is actually a really good thing because I ended up picking up, Resident Evil Village and all that, and it didn't make sense until the third installment where they kind of went back and explained, what Leon was doing in Europe and how it connected to this village and the plant and all those things. So it took a while, and people were almost giving up on Resident Evil because it was so different. But I believe they were just trying to do different things that they could do in that game and field, and they did. They took it first person. They had a new character, and then they brought it to another village. They went to another town, and they tied it in the last minute. and they tied it in really well. And I don't really hear a lot of people talking about just how well they tied it in. And I won't spoil it here, but I'm sure they'll go over it. So let's talk about Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 1, my favorite games, one of the games I first started on playing on PlayStation. And of course, you guys know how that plays out. Jill Valentine, well, I think one of the greatest main characters in a franchise, and they kind of, she kind of disappeared from the scene after the first Resident Evil Mansion. But there were some things in the game that you found out about, the Spencer family, and just about, what they were doing behind the scenes, and who some of the scientists were that were, there at the mansion, and how all that, came to be, of course, with Wesker. And so they summed it up pretty well. They seem to go more so by the remake than the original storyline footage, but I think that's the timeline that they're working on. So it seems to be like what it will continue and pick up. I really wanted to see what new uh things they had for Requiem. I thought they was going to share, but we got to keep watching it and see what they come up with. So let's get back into it.
And as for the survivors, their story was just beginning. Some, like Raccoon City journalist Alyssa Ashcroft, sought to expose Umbrella's darkest secrets. Some hunted the bioterrorists who weaponized Umbrella's research. Others set out to unveil the real truth behind the government's sterilization operation. The aftershocks of the Raccoon City incident would be felt for decades to come, and coincide with other increasingly frequent bioweapon-related outbreaks. Caught up in one such bioweapon-related tragedy was an ordinary man by the name of Ethan Winters. Ethan was searching for his missing wife, Mia. Following an anonymous email, he finds himself in the bowels of the bayou at the Baker estate, where he's greeted by a deranged family infected by a horrifying ailment. Ethan fought to escape their madness and rescue his wife. 3 years later, Ethan would face a new nightmare. This time, his baby daughter Rose is taken away by Chris Redfield, the legendary hero who survived countless bioterror incidents. Ethan's quest to rescue his daughter led him to a mysterious, treacherous village ruled by Mother Miranda and the Four Lords. Like the Baker family, the village residents were turned into nightmarish creatures. And those four powerful lords, well, one of them was more powerful and stunning than the others. What a goddess. Oh, my apologies. Now, where was I? Mother Miranda, who shares a deep connection with Umbrella founder Oswell E. Spencer, played a key role behind the village incident. Separately, it was revealed that an insidious force known simply as the Connections was operating from the shadows and also played a key role in the incident. To this day, little is known about the Connections. Ethan Winters' terrifying two-part tale was as chilling as it was exhilarating. An immersive horror experience witnessed from Resident Evil's first ever first-person perspective. Both titles will be available in the content-rich Gold Edition for Nintendo Switch 2 on February 27th, 2026. They'll feature post-story scenarios and extra game modes. Resident Evil Village will also include a third-person gameplay option. And if February 27th sounds familiar, it's because it is. These two terrifying titles are releasing the same day as Resident Evil Requiem, the series' newest, most chilling installment, where you'll play FBI analyst Grace.
All right, before they get into too much details, let's sort of go over some of the things that she said. I mean, she pretty much summed up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then she jumped straight to Biohazard, which was the first person in the bayou, and then she went to village, and then they're all caught up. But I mean, two was definitely an important version of Resident Evil. Three, not so much, but I think the original three was just fan service and just giving us something else to play. I do remember renting it back in the day. Four was really good. Of course, Leon in Europe. Five was really good. Of course, which was Chris in Africa, right? And if you play that again, and then they reintroduced Jill Valentine back into the fold. Six and seven, was I can't even really remember what went down, but I do have them, and I was going to do an entire Resident Evil playthrough, going back over that content just to refresh myself. But it had stuff to do with China and the walled city, and it had some good good parts in it, but didn't really push the narrative on the storyline like pretty much. I guess you can only say Village because Biohazard really didn't do anything. It was pretty much standalone. But Village really pushing the narrative with that that she just pretty much went over. So here we are finding the information out about where they are in the new Resident Evil, and like she said, FBI and one of the characters. So let's just go back and listen to what's going on.
Ashcroft as she confronts her haunted past and uncovers the truth behind the Raccoon City incident. Prepare yourself for a new chapter of Resident Evil and a story that pushes the series forward, using gameplay that has evolved in terrifying new ways. Resident Evil Requiem will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, Nintendo Switch 2, and for the first time in series history, the Epic Game Store. You'll be able to choose between two editions, Standard and Deluxe. The Deluxe Edition includes the same base game as the Standard Edition, plus an exclusive pack of costumes and weapon skins. And for pre-orders, players will also get the exclusive Grace's Costume Apocalypse. Let us now turn our attention to the exquisite offerings that accompany Resident Evil Requiem. Our special edition Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller is coming soon. Featuring Resident Evil Requiem design and styled in gunmetal-inspired black, this original controller boldly showcases in-world newspaper articles from the game, capturing its dark and immersive atmosphere. Launching the same day as the game itself, you can bring home both on February 27th, 2026. Believe it or not, we have even more incredible news. We're excited to announce our daring protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, will become Resident Evil's first ever amiibo in summer 2026. Stay tuned for more details. Soon, you'll be able to flaunt your Resident Evil fandom in Fortnite. When you purchase Resident Evil Requiem through the Epic Game Store, you'll receive special Fortnite items, such as the Grace outfit, after the game launches. More details to come. But for those of you that simply cannot wait to jump back into the world of Resident Evil, you're in luck. We've severed the price on multiple Resident Evil titles to make your Halloween more heart-pounding, hair-raising, and bone-chilling than ever. As you may know, Resident Evil is celebrating 30 years of terror, with many more nightmares soon to come. While our time today has come to an end, we hope to see you again very soon during the Resident Evil Showcase early next year, where we'll descend even deeper into all things Resident Evil Requiem. Thank you all for joining.
Alyssa died 8 years ago.
So before they get into some shots from the new game, seems to be a good place to stop at. I mean, some cool information that I don't think really is important. Like, I know controllers are really important, but that's for PlayStation and Xbox. I'm not really a Switch player, but it looks cool. But honestly, the greatest controller that they ever came out with was the chainsaw. controller. So they should have, to me, they should have brought the chainsaw controller back and gave us a chance to get that. If you go online, look up the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller, it goes for like $1,000. Like let us get a chance to get something. I'm not really hyped about that. I don't really know what's up with the amiibo because I wasn't familiar that they even still did amiibo, but I guess that's something that works with the Switch. So I mean, if you're into that, you into that. Um, Maybe some just desk collectibles, if anything. Everything is Fortnite. I think this just proves how important Fortnite is. I mean, you almost gotta pull people away from Fortnite if you're gonna have any type of momentum. Because if not, everybody's gonna always be on Fortnite no matter what. So they're trying to, combining and doing some crossovers. So that's cool with that. And then February, he explained they're having a convention early 2026. So I think that would be cool. I'm definitely into that, and we'll try to cover that as well. And so she said that new stories will be coming soon, and that old stories are half on sale. So I pretty much got everyone. The only Resident Evils that I actually want is Resident Evil Zero, which is Rebecca's story. So I might go back and play that, and then start from there. I wanted to play uh, a couple other Resident Evil games. I wanted to play Outbreak. I want to go back and get the Outbreak, and I'm actually shocked they didn't do that as far as re-release or port over some of the Outbreaks because some people have been saying like, who is this main character Ashcroft? And so when I looked it up, it said Alyssa Ashcroft's. Well, I guess the woman's name is Ashcroft. So she's Alyssa Ashcroft's daughter. Alyssa is a survivor from Resident Evil Outbreak. She escaped Raccoon City, and one of her articles appeared in Resident Evil 7. So I'm surprised they didn't do anything with Resident Evil Outbreak, knowing that this girl is her daughter from that series. But I might have to go look online because, like it said, that it may be up there. So they said that other titles have, reduced the price. So if Outbreak's on there, I will get it and I will play. So let's check out the rest of this clip.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
Grace. They're coming.
Grace, confront that fear.
Miss Ashcroft. Come in.
What is happening here?
There's no escaping your destiny.
Hey! Help! What did you hide behind that painting?
We have so much to do.
Who are you? Why me?
Wow, so they showed a lot of clips and it looks really good. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna, how the game's gonna play out. And I can kind of already tell a couple of things that I think I noticed. So I'll just run it back real quick. First of all, I believe that this is one of the founders of Umbrella. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is either Spencer or the other founder that they said from original Resident Evil. I mean, the only reason I say that is because that's the only place they got to go. They did all the researchers. They did all the senior researchers. They literally drained the water out of the rock that is Wesker. They brought so many different characters that we've over and over again, from Wesker's son to Ava to Leon. They brought back Chris, then they took him away, then they brought him back. They had Jill, they took her away, they brought her back. They sent her to Africa, they introduced new people. They had Outbreak, they had just Revelations. They had tons of games and they had tons of people who they just brought back and forth. And I think the founders, now that they told the story, they explained the connection with the virus. I think this is the only option is to show that the founders are still there. So I believe he's one of the founders. I'm pretty sure that's who he is. It looks like there's tons of new creepy monsters. We see familiar hallways. I mean, I know this is not the police station, but it looks a lot like it as far as the desk. Something behind it, upper lower level, left and right, and a large foyer. So I'm pretty sure that have that vibe. Um, they always have always have to say this. They always have a token black guy. Shout out to Resident Evil 4 if anybody remembers, FBI director. So I'm just trying to see what else they have in here. FBI. This is the first time we've seen any government organization besides the Raccoon City Police and the BSAA, and so I think that's interesting because I mean the FBI, the Alphabet Boys. I mean it could be well connected. Kind of got the X Files theme going here. Something could be happening, and it could be multiple departments and could lead someplace else or connect with some other stories. Can't really tell what mansion they're in or where they're at. Well, it says something about a hotel. If you guys saw that one, let me see if I can go back. So it says, I can't really see. It says hotel case. So I'm sure this is purposely blocked, but it's something hotel case. I couldn't stop it, but let me see if there's anything else that I noticed in here. Just the hallway scenes, some of the creatures. I mean, familiar creatures. It seems to be this could be some sort of ghost or some sort of zombie, of course, or it could be a mid boss in whatever mansion this is. This could be Lady Demis True's mansion or another one of her mansions, or just in this hotel. Could be sort of connected to her. We see all type of weird stuff. It looks like a health and wellness retreat. That's what it looks like. But it looks like she's going to have to deal with tons of zombies, and I'm guessing that woman is her mother. And this is coming down like a liquor, uh, but it could be something else. Isolation ward. So it looks like it's a mental hospital, and we got stuff crawling on the walls, and we got all type of doctors. But I mean, hey, they're setting up this pretty scary. I mean, there's nothing scarier than a mental hospital. I mean, a lot of times people, have those movies with the mental hospitals, and they're creepy. So here we got a zombie. He kind of looks like Chris, but he doesn't. I think great effects here as far as her to have the flashlight and looks like the Desert Eagle, and so that's we know that's a powerful gun. Umbrella logo. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot that's going to be going on. So, I mean, I just saw this come across on my channel for the Requiem page. I am a subscriber, so if you guys are subscribers as well, go ahead and subscribe to that on YouTube and check out. That way, you'll be up to date as well. I will definitely continue to do videos for when I get information on Resident Evil, and so that's right on there. That's right on there. Page. So check it out, and let's see what else they got on there on the website for Resident Evil Requiem. So this is their page. It gives you the date. It's coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Steam, Switch, and Epic Games. On 10/30, you can get the controller, the Amiibo, and apparel designs through Capcom Apparel. We've got the trailer, which is what we just watched, and then the second trailer. Switch trailer, creator's message, and the original reveal trailer. So it says Resident Evil Requiem is the 9th title in the mainline Resident Evil series. Prepare to escape death in heart-stopping experience that will chill you to the core. A new era of survival horror begins. So when it says a new era, I mean, I'm guessing this is going to be a trilogy, so it's probably going to be Requiem 1, 2, and 3. Technological advancements combined with the development team's depth of experience combined in a story which rich characters and gameplay that's more immersive than ever before. So right, they only give us two breakdowns on the characters, which is Grace Ashcroft, an intelligence analyst for the FBI who demonstrates intense focus and insight in deductive reasoning and analysis. Her mother, Alyssa Ashcroft, who was in Outbreak series, shook her to the soul, making her an introvert who immerses herself in her work. So she heads to the abandoned hotel alone to investigate a mysterious death. They don't talk about who where the hotel is. Now, this is Alyssa, who was in the Survivor of Raccoon City. She's Grace's mother. She was a reporter when the original outbreak occurred. She's a strong-willed, determined woman who carried on with her journalism even after Raccoon City. So let's see what locations they got. So once again, to the city of disaster and despair. So they go back to Resident Evil. I didn't expect that. So you go back to Raccoon City. Wow. So a Midwestern city in the United States and the headquarters for former global pharmaceutical. In the face of the zombie outbreak, the government approved sterilization, which it was we know as the nuclear missile. So they're going back to Raccoon City. So it says gameplay, first person perspective and third person perspective. And pre-order. All right. So only one location they had here, story trailer. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Resident Evil website that they have here. I don't really notice anything different. Just the original reveal trailer playing here in the background. Some shots of the looks like a hotel, but then we also know that they are going to back to original resident Raccoon City. So that means going back to the police station, and that means all the other areas that are there. Now, I'm guessing that the mansion could also pop up because the mansion was in Raccoon City. So everything else we just have to wait and see. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this little breakdown. Let me know how you guys are feeling about Resident Evil. If you guys are interested, if you guys are going to order pre-order, or if you guys are going to wait till February. All right, guys. Take care. It's the Movie Guru. I'll catch you on the next one.